Hello. It is a well known fact that chartered accountancy is one of the most growing fields in finance and holds a wide scope in future with endless opportunities. To learn more about this vast yet interesting subject, we have invited one of the most sought after professionals in Asia and USA, CA Mr. Parag Kulkarni. He is the head of Kulkarni Incorporated and India AS Lab, which is a modern organization dedicated towards changing the perspective for valuations and finance. Mr. Parag Kulkarni has graduated and done his high honors from some of the most respectable business schools from all over the world. At a very young age, he developed interest in this field and established the Economics Learning Group in Pune. In 2014, he became the first CA to get certified from India, USA, England, and Wales. A very renowned institute has recognized him as one of the finest global valuers to showcase resilience during COVID-19 pandemic. He has authored and co-authored a couple of books, research papers, and technical articles, a few of which have been published by ICAI. He has addressed hundreds of conferences at various platforms in India and Gulf and has coached over 2,500 CAs from all over India. CA Parag is a recipient of many national and international awards for his work in this field. Apart from his profession, he also pursues singing as a hobby. He believes in leading with example and conviction rather than preaching. With his innovative approach towards finance and valuation, he will today talk to us about the increasing opportunities, various learning possibilities, and much more about this profession. Let's begin.
Change is constant, and your success is primarily defined not by the change but how you embrace the change. Human beings are often survived these clashes primarily because they adapted to the changing environment. Let's understand how the finance environment around us have changed over last decade. Let me try to simplify with an example. When you go out and buy a biscuit, you pay MRP, that's a maximum retail price, and maximum retail price is composed of the base price with indirect taxes thereon. Historically, these indirect taxes were in the form of excise duty, value added tax VAT and custom duty. However, with the new advent of GST, that is goods and service tax, now the indirect taxes are classified under a single umbrella called as GST. As the indirect taxes have undergone a change, similarly direct taxes have also undergone a change. Where do we pay and how do we pay direct taxes? Direct taxes means taxes which are levied directly on your income. Income that you earn as an individual, income that companies earn as an entity. Direct tax code has also undergone a change in last decade. However, that change is not for the period of 10 years, but rather that change happens every year. When finance minister comes in the house and presents a budget, he often tries to analyze the conditions of economy and brings those changes as a part of fiscal policies. The changes are primarily attributable to exempt income for individuals, for females, for male taxpayers, for entities such as companies and LLP. The changes were also observed in the structural format. For example, historically we have been using Companies Act 1956. Now that act was formed in year 1956, and since 1956 to year 2013 we followed the same act. However, in year 2013 the new legislature was passed and we call it as Companies Act 2013. So as of today, direct taxes have undergone a change, indirect taxes have undergone a change, the way you create entities and you operate have undergone a change. In this series, let's understand how you as a finance professional or your career in the finance will be impacted as you go ahead and embrace these changes. Those who have completed their 10th standard are absolutely eligible to get themselves enrolled for the CA curriculum course. You can obviously visit website www.icai.org to understand how this course works and look at some other potential areas which includes the fee structure, the curriculum and some other eligibility criteria. Nonetheless, it doesn't mean that you have completed 10th standard means you can directly go and write an examination. The eligibility to enroll for CA course is 10th pass, but eligibility to take first examination is 10 plus 2, which means either you have completed 2 years diploma or you have completed 12th standard, which then makes you eligible to take the first examination. The first examination is called as a foundation. Obviously, like the literal meaning of the word foundation is the first and base examination, which primarily focuses on your fundamentals. The second examination is intermediate and the last examination is final. Once you yourself enrolled and take this examination and pass first exam, that is foundation, and second exam intermediate, you are eligible to go out and pursue internship. As in our culture, we have been celebrating Guru Shishya Parampara, the same it's somewhere is observed in CA curriculum, where after completing your intermediate exam, you have to choose a teacher, a principal. Similarly, a principal will also choose his disciple or a student. In your articleship training or internship training, which runs for almost 3 years, you will be exposed to the live cases and real life scenarios. By the way, it's not mere employment, but it's more of a learning and earning together. So this is where CA curriculum offers you an opportunity to continue with your existing courses, such as your Bachelor of Commerce course, where possibly you have complete your first year and second year, and then you are also earning and learning simultaneously while preparing for the CA final course. CA course, one of the complex course, as I have been told by my parents, by my teachers, by peers and friends. Nobody from my family is chartered accountant, have exposure of the finance field. Most of them come maybe from medical field or engineering field. What is this CA course about? How these industries work? What are the core subjects that we will be learning out of it? Is it really difficult? Somebody told me that the passing percentage of CA curriculum is hardly 1%. My goodness, I don't belong to that cadre. Should I really do this course or will I waste my life? Please don't worry. Lot of myths run around the market, and here you are at the right place to define and decode those myths. It's true fact that the passing percentage of CA curriculum is less, but that doesn't necessarily puts you out from the better league. Let's understand exactly what this CA curriculum is about and what subjects are included while you pursue this course. Obviously, when you go out and start earning money, on that income you have to pay taxes. And when you transact, when on day-to-day basis you go out and buy goods and services, you still pay taxes on it. There are some direct taxes and indirect taxes. So CA curriculum considers not only understanding of various subjects like horizontal breadth, but primarily focuses on the vertical depth, that is primarily focusing on 6 subjects. For obvious reasons, one of the subject would be direct tax and second subject would be indirect taxes. CA curriculum all in all focuses on 8 key subjects that becomes core for an individual to go out, upskill himself and then work into industry. Now in order to earn the income, obviously you need to identify and calculate the income. To do so, what you do is you then require to understand how to perform an accounting. Accounting is basically art and science where you learn how to record the transactions. So the art of record keeping is an accounting which becomes one of the core subject of this chartered accountancy course. And don't worry, it's really easy. It's as good as you are doing addition 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. Coming back, now once you have formed the company or when you are working as a sole proprietor, when you go out and interact with different businesses, it then becomes fundamentally important for us to understand how macroeconomic environment impact you as an individual, society at large and country as a whole. Which means that we need to understand as a chartered accountant the meaning of economics. For the same reason, economics becomes one of the other core subject that must be learned over foundation, intermediate and final courses. Now we are communicating to each other by using a digital media. You obviously have realized by now what I am speaking about. I am referring to the next subject that is the core of the overall CA curriculum, which is information technology. Now while you go out and possibly do your calculations on Microsoft Excel, the days are not left, days are not behind when we all will be using Python coding, and obviously it will become a part of curriculum going forward. When you transact, you need to identify the profitability. Now whether the organization is doing business profitably or not is dependent on subjects such as costings, and hence costing is also one of the core subject. All in all, you would say You have been speaking about record keeping, calculations, costing, profitability and income, which obviously means that we all need to be good in mathematics. Now some of you may feel that I am really good at mathematics, I really love it. Its subject is core to my heart and hence I can do CA course. Obviously you are most welcome to do this course. But there is also a large myth that plays around in the market that if you are not really good in mathematics, then you should not even think of doing the CA course. Not at all. See, what is a mathematics? Mathematics is ultimately addition, subtraction, deletion, division, multiplication, geometric progression and regression. Even if you don't understand it, but if you are a logical human being, it's okay if you have scored less in mathematics, but if you believe that you can logically reason out things, you know exactly how things happen, if you believe that as a leader you can take the decision, then I think CA course is fit for you. Another myth that runs into market is only if you are intellectual and if you belong to the top tier of your class, such as you belong to top 10% of the students, then and then you should pursue CA course. Not really. CA course is meant for all those who score more than 50%, who are really hardworking and who are honest to themselves. In CA course there are no shortcuts. Rather, CA course is the only course which invites you and tests you without giving you admission on the basis of any kind of reservation. It is regulated under a separate act and hence it empowers institute to test you purely on the merit. So if you believe that you have a knack and inclination towards the macroeconomy, towards the transactions, towards understanding the way different industries work, and if you are a logical human being, and then if you have a love towards how this money is generated, created and employment is generated, then definitely you are a right fit, provided you remain honest to yourselves and you offer your next 3 to 4 years with lot of passion and lot of commitment into this course. Let me tell you a story of Eklavya and Dronacharya. But in this story, you are Eklavya and the information available to you by advent of digital media, by advent of print media or through some of the other channels is Dronacharya. However, in our story, Eklavya is not going to forgive and let go his finger, because this is not a story of Mahabharata, this is the story of chartered accountancy course. And in this course you will be doing it yourself, DIY, do it yourself, and you will be learning it through various mediums. I strongly believe that it's not really important and necessary for you to travel, live independently from parents in order to get a learning when you are primarily focusing on the examination. Rather, once you enroll yourself as a student with ICAI, ICAI itself offers you large e-learning course, e-learning modules which help you prepare for the examination. However, taking additional help by pursuing some other coaching classes is not prohibited. Rather, it could be additional welcome move. It can accelerate your process of learning. But don't be under impression that it is necessity for you to go out and then shift from your place into cities such as Pune, Mumbai, Nashik, Solapur, Kolhapur in order to get that coaching. You can very well learn it yourself wherever you are by looking at the online courses and technologies. However, is it really sufficient for you to be a CA by doing this online course? Not really. As I said previously, Guru Shishya Parampara is the core to the CA course. This means that there are certain learnings that comes through digital learning and through books, and there are some more important learnings that comes only through experiences. The articleship and internship is the podium where you get exposed to such learning through experiences. Often people say passing percentage of CA curriculum is hardly 2%. Is it true? No, it's not true. It's 0.2%, and let me prove you how it is. When 10,000 students pursue for first examination, 1,000 out of it pass the course. Then out of the 1,000 students, the second examination is passed by 100 students, and final examination is passed by 20 out of 100 students. So when you divide 20 by 10,000, it comes to 0.2%. Now on the other hand side, the question is, if we are not among those 20, then what will happen to our academic life? What will happen to our professional life? Will we be getting employment? Will we be devastated? Don't worry. CA course is all about grooming yourself and building you into a better professional. Rather, ICAI recognizes you if you have completed second examination and gives you a certification such as accountant technician course once you qualified the second examination. See, the only difference between those who have passed and those who have not passed is of those two letters CA. But that difference doesn't arise out of the skill set. There is a high probability that because you did this course, you are exposed to wild environment, you are experienced into the skill that is expected by the industry and that is very relevant for your employment. However, you have just not dare to call yourself as CA, and it's fine, because CA as these two letters of trust and credibility helps you to get your first employment and builds trust among society to get your first work. It may not be really the only success factor. Rather, the critical success factor is primarily driven by your own skill set, your ability to serve your client, your ability to do those calculations and vice versa. Now, if you are doing CA course and if you want to reduce the risk of not becoming CA by doing alternative course, which other courses can you pursue? I strongly recommend you can explore parallel courses such as company secretary course and cost accountant course, that is CS and CWA respectively. You can also look at some other non-professional courses and certification courses such as DTL or maybe some other courses into direct and indirect taxes. Nevertheless, you can also explore some non-functional area courses such as altogether different line, maybe coding in Python or maybe digital marketing or maybe website building. Can you do these courses simultaneously while you are studying for CA course? I strongly recommend don't do that, because once you have chosen to do the CA course, you need to fully focus on pursuing the CA course. However, if you decide to suspend your actions and your participation in the CA course, let's say for a couple of years, during that time definitely you can choose either another professional course such as CS and CWA, or you can go for altogether non-functional courses such as website development, digital marketing, HR, or maybe even the MBA courses from some other institutes. Floods of opportunities will be opened up as soon as you become chartered accountant. Becoming chartered accountant is proving your credibility into the finance market, showcasing yourself as absolutely expert of this profession. Now, when you get up in the morning, you see television, you are bombarded with news. When you look out of the window, there are vehicles which are running. They need petroleum to run, they need gases, and then you read a lot of news channels and you read a lot of news where you would understand how the countries are evolving and how they are transacting. Now, ultimately, to do any kind of business and transaction, you need what is called as a money, and the one who does the right record keeping of money and who has absolute control over the flow of money is usually a chartered accountant. So, becoming chartered accountant is very important in order to explore these opportunities. Once you are CA, maybe you can join company and become junior manager, associate manager, senior manager, general manager, and finally CFO of the organization. Maybe if you start owning the organization, you may be welcomed with the position of director finance. Now, not only limiting your career into the private job, you can also explore yourself into entrepreneurship or maybe like a public servant where you can pursue IAS course and go into IRS and may become income tax commissioner. Last but not the least, you can also practice independently and do company audits, bank audits, trust audits and whatnot. However, in order to embrace these opportunities, what is important is to pass examination and actually grab those two credible words called as chartered accountancy. Once upon a time, the record keeping was done with hands and inks, where we used to write on the piece of paper, this is what is the total on this page, like on page number 12 the total is 60,000 and now this total is referred to page number 65. All those handwritten notes are now elapsed. Now, with the advent of technology and computers, we have been doing all this recording with the computers. We call it as a ERP, we call it as accounting softwares. And now, with the newest technologies where machines learn and they tell you what is to be done, we call it as a machine learning and artificial intelligence. And I am very sure that these technologies sooner or later will replace these accountants. For example, historically we were reading invoices and looking at the supplier's name, looking at the goods that were supplied, the rate and volume, and actually recording it by understanding what was written in that invoice. Now that understanding empowerment is already happening with the machines. So machines will read it, machines will record it independently, and machines will automatically prepare the balance sheet. That's what the future that we are imagining down the line 10 to 12 years, or maybe even before that. So is it really sufficient to be an accountant? May not be, and hence becoming chartered accountant becomes relevant in today's new world technologies, because the word chartered doesn't confirms only your ability to do the recording, but basically confirms your ability to take decision. Your ability to take decision makes you a chartered accountant, and hence doing this course and imbibing yourself with those leadership skills is very important. So welcome to this course of chartered accountancy and welcome to the future. Thank you so much.
Summary. Eligibility. 10th standard to enroll for CA course. 10 plus 2 to take first exam. Exam details. First exam foundation. Second exam intermediate. Internship or articleship can pursue after second exam. Duration is 3 years. Can do other courses simultaneously like BCom. Third exam is the final exam. CA is a complex course. It has 8 key subjects, for example, direct taxes, indirect taxes, accounting, economics, information technology, costing, etc. Distant learning or e-learning possible. Coaching classes, additional help but not necessary. No need to shift into big cities. Articleship or internship, live cases, on-the-job learning. Myths. Must be good in maths is a myth. Only top 10% students can do CA is also a myth. Logical reasoning and hard work are more important. Passing percentile is extremely less for CA final exam, but ICAI recognizes as accountant technician after second exam eligible to work. Parallel courses in finance field, company secretary CS, cost and work accountant CWA, diploma in taxation law DTL, non-financial courses, coding, digital marketing, website building, HR, MBA, etc. Career paths, job with organization, public servant, for instance in IRS, practice independently. Trend in the next 10 years, new age technology, machine learning and artificial intelligence will change the face of accounting.